Everyone in the empire knew Aaron Pereira as the deadbeat of the Pereira family, the noble who slept 20 hours a day, the disgrace the knights gossiped about at the gates, the son whose own little sister screamed at him to stop embarrassing the family. But what nobody knew, not the servants, not the nobles who mocked him, not even his father, was that every single time Aaron closed his eyes, he was living another man's life, a swordsman who trained every day, without rest, for 40 years. And Aaron felt all of it, every swing, every scar, every drop of sweat. So when the lazy deadbeat finally picked up a sword in real life, the entire continent was about to learn what 40 years of hell actually builds. Let me tell you the whole story. The story doesn't start with Aaron. It starts with a stranger, a wanderer wrapped in a cloak, walks into a quiet farming village. His eyes are full of anger, the kind you only get when something terrible has burned your life to the ground. The village elder welcomes him anyway. And then, nothing. The man barely speaks to anyone. His door stays shut, but the village kids start peeking through his fence, copying his movements with sticks. Because it turns out the stranger does exactly one thing every single day. He trains with his sword. A month passes. Moss grows on his walls. He trains. The villagers gossip. Is he a fallen knight? A mercenary preparing for revenge? He trains. One farmer, just an ordinary peasant, becomes quietly obsessed with him. He writes in his diary, 3 years, and the wanderer is still swinging his sword. The peasant falls in love, gets married, has a daughter. 5 years. The wanderer trains. The peasant's daughter grows up. 7 years, 10 months, 27 days. The wanderer trains. Snow falls. Rain hammers the village. The wanderer trains. Pages of the diary fall like leaves. 15 years. The peasant grows a beard, becomes a grandfather, becomes the village elder himself, and the sound of a sword cutting air from behind that mossy wall never stops, as constant as the dawn. 37 years after the stranger arrived, the old elder walks past that overgrown house and looks through the gap in the door one last time, and his eyes go wide. The wanderer is on his knees, hands locked around the hilt of his sword, planted in the earth. An old man now, body covered in scars, a silvery light around him, fading. He died the way he lived, holding his sword. The elder lays him down, closes his eyes, and whispers that he hopes the wanderer finds a better place. And the moment those words land, Aaron Pereira wakes up screaming, blonde hair soaked in sweat, blue eyes wide, because that wasn't a dream you watch. He was in it, the salt taste in his mouth, the tearing pain in the muscles. 40 years of another man's training, and his body remembers all of it. And here's the thing you need to understand about Aaron. This is the laziest human being in the entire barony. His mother died in front of him when he was a child, and something in him just shut down. He crawled into his bed and basically didn't come out for 10 years. The servants call him the deadbeat noble. His genius little sister Kirill, 11 years old and already an officially recognized sorceress, a girl who builds living griffins out of raw magic, is the family's pride. Aaron is the family's shame. But this morning, for the first time in 10 years, Aaron can't sleep. His hands are shaking. His whole body is itching to move. He calls out, "Who's there?" And when his butler appears in the doorway, Aaron says the words that break the poor man's brain. "I want to train with the sword." Picture the scene at the Pereira training grounds. Knights are mid-drill, and then the deadbeat prince, a guy most of them have literally never seen stand up straight, walks onto the field. Knights start making bets on how many days this lasts. The smart money says a week. The butler tries to guide him. Every sword has its characteristics. Wait for an instructor. Start small. Aaron ignores all of it. He walks straight past the training blades to the biggest weapon on the rack, a massive two-handed greatsword, and grabs it. He can barely lift it. His arms shake. His whole body trembles. The noble students watching actually laugh, worse than we imagined. But Aaron raises it over his head and swings. The tip crashes into the dirt. He picks it up, swings again and again. Because here's what nobody else can see. With every single swing, the crushing weight he's carried for 10 years, the grief, the shame, the memories, evaporates, just a little. For the first time since his mother died, His head is quiet. He swings until the sun goes down, until his legs give out and his butler has to catch him. That night he screams at the pain in his muscles, swears he'll never do it again, and 5 minutes later he's asleep like a baby, drooling on the pillow. The next morning, he eats an entire mountain of sandwiches. The family can't believe he's eating, and goes back to the training ground. His sister Kirill flies in on her griffin and absolutely detonates. You slept for 10 years and now you think swinging a sword changes anything. Even a rookie knight is better than you. And Aaron doesn't argue, doesn't sulk. He just turns around, raises the sword and keeps swinging. The look on her face, she came for a fight and got silence, is the first hint to everyone watching that something in this boy is fundamentally different now. Later, she sends him a magical cat doll as an apology, too proud to say it in person. On the back, a hidden note from his stepmother. Aaron realizes something that hits him harder than any training. His family never actually gave up on him. Not once in 10 wasted years. The next morning, he walks into the family breakfast, first time in a decade, and thanks them. His father cries into his plate. But someone else has been watching. An old man in a red robe, posing as a wandering knight-errant, has spent 10 days observing Aaron train. And this is no random old man. The knights at the gate don't know it yet, but this old knight is a living legend of the sword. What does the legend see? Technique? No. Talent? Not really. The boy can barely hold the blade. He sees a will he's met maybe once in his lifetime. A boy who does not stop. So the old knight storms into Baron Pereira's office and slams down a recommendation letter to Chrono Academy, the most elite fencing academy on the continent. The deadbeat is going to school. At the academy gates, Aaron refuses to be escorted in. I'm a student now. He walks in alone, into a hall of 400 elite candidates, every single one of them staring at the infamous deadbeat noble with open contempt. 3 names matter here. Brett, blue-haired heir of a count's family, brilliant and arrogant, who writes Aaron off on sight. Judith, a red-haired commoner with a street orphan's chip on her shoulder and a pathological hatred of losing. And Ilya, white-haired second genius of the Lindsay sword family, cold as a January blade. The instructors announced the rules. 1 year of pre-selection. 2 brutal tests. Most of you will go home. Test 1, an endurance run designed to break people, and it breaks Aaron. His body is still 10 years of bed rest wearing a uniform. He collapses, and then, in front of everyone, he crawls, gets up, runs again, collapses, gets up again, because in his head is the image of a man who swung a sword for 37 years without a single day off. Compared to the Wanderer, what is this? He runs until his consciousness literally shuts off mid-stride. When he wakes up, the results are in. Ranked 400th. Out of 400. Dead last. Banned from even touching a weapon. The rehab department first. Body before blade. Now watch what the story does here, because this is why this manhwa works. It doesn't give him a cheat skill, it gives him a gym arc. Months of barbells and box jumps, while Ilya silently corrects his form, Judith interrogates him suspiciously, and Brett predicts a relapse into laziness any day now. Then comes the midterm. A 4-stage gauntlet, push press, box jumps, distance run, and a swim. Against the clock, with the top 5 earning personal instruction from the academy head, the 90-year-old Master Ian, and the deadbeat shows up transformed. He clears the push press right behind Ilya. He blitzes the jumps. On the run, it's a 3-way war, Iron, Ilya, and Judith, who is running like something is chasing her. Because something is. Flashbacks show us the orphan girl who survived the streets by stealing, who swore she would never lose at anything again. In the water, Judith's leg cramps. She starts to drown, and she's too proud to scream. Aaron sees it, and with his best result ever, top 5, the master's personal instruction, all of it within reach, he turns around, dives back, and drags her to shore, then gets back in the water and finishes the race. 34th out of 35 passes, second to last. Brett takes second place and gloats. Ilya coldly informs Aaron that his sentimentality just cost him everything and she's done helping him. And Aaron's answer is the thesis statement of the entire series. My family once pulled me out of my own swamp. I couldn't watch someone drown. That's the whole reason. Cut to the results ceremony. Master Ian steps forward and summons student 311 in front of the entire academy. Everyone expects a dismissal. Instead, the instructors, unanimously, honor Erin's sacrifice in front of the whole hall. 400 people who spent a year mocking the deadbeat noble applaud him. And in that crowd, clapping with everyone else, is Judith, the girl who'd rather die than owe anyone anything. She finds him afterward, declares that she repays her debts, punches him in the arm, and informs him they're friends now. Erin has no say in the matter. Sword training finally begins. Erin walks past every reasonable blade and pulls the biggest greatsword off the rack, same as day one. But this time, when he takes his stance and swings, the air moves. A gust rolls across the training ground. The stance is nearly perfect. A year of dreams has been quietly compiling inside his body. Brett feels something he's never felt in his life, threatened. So he does the aristocrat thing, challenges Erin to a duel, on the spot, in front of everyone, with Ian's blessing. The duel is short, and it is telling. Erin attacks with one raw vertical strike, and Brett, the genius who has never needed to dodge anything in his life, dodges. His instincts scream at him not to block it. He recovers, uses his actual technique, disarms Erin, wins cleanly. And that night, the winner lies awake staring at the ceiling, haunted by one image, the sheer, wrongful weight behind a first year's single swing. Then the academy posts class assignments, and reality slaps Erin across the face. Ilya, Class A. Brett, Class A. Judith, Class A. Aaron, Class F. Not even C. The bottom of the barrel. Judith nearly starts a riot on his behalf. Instructor Lun offers him a brutal wager. Master every fundamental of the great sword in 1 week and jump straight to Class C. Fail, and accept that he has no talent, and leave the academy for good. 1 week. Every fundamental. A weapon most knights need years to control. Erin grinds through it day after day, and Lun, watching him quietly, admits something to himself that the whole continent has been getting wrong. This boy actually does have talent. It was just buried under 10 years of grief. He makes Class C, and then the story pulls its best twist yet. Brett, the rival, the gloater, walks up to Erin and Judith and asks to train together. His logic is ice cold and completely honest. I'll use you to learn that inhuman concentration of yours. In exchange, I'll teach you the sword. And stop putting yourself down. You carry noble blood and real talent. The enemy becomes the training partner. Judith complains the entire time. She joins anyway. Meanwhile, the dreams evolve. One night, the Wanderer fully materializes, and Aaron doesn't just watch him anymore. He feels his own hands inside the man's scarred hands. Every swing, every muscle, every breath, transmitted in full fidelity. Aaron wakes up screaming and sprints to the training hall in the middle of the night to drill the movements before the sensation fades. He also discovers, half by accident, that meditating with the sword in hand deepens the connection. This produces the single funniest beat of the arc. The whole academy sees him meditating, assumes it's a secret technique, and within a week, 400 elite students are sitting in lotus position around the training ground, snoring. Final assessment. Master Ian's rules. Each student must demonstrate their hidden talent, their truest self, expressed through the sword. To show them what that means, the 90-year-old performs a sword dance that leaves trails of light hanging in the air. The message: this is what a blade looks like when it carries a soul. The performances begin. Judith demands a duel format and gets Brett, and gives the academy a war. Arena-spanning, sword-shattering, the commoner orphan against the Count's heir. Her blade literally breaks before her will does. Brett is judged the finer swordsman. Ian applauds them both. Ilya steps up and unveils her family's legacy. The Sky Sword, the technique that slew the demonic Dragon King 400 years ago. Wind gathers around her blade and releases as a spiraling blast that nearly knocks the judges off the platform. The hall goes silent. Brett watches the old unclimbable wall rebuild itself in front of him and quietly begins to despair. Then Aaron walks to the center and announces he will demonstrate a simple perpendicular cut. The hall turns hostile. A straight vertical swing. The first thing a child learns? Students are angry, openly calling him out for disrespecting the final assessment. After everything, the deadbeat is treating the master's exam like a joke. Aaron closes his eyes, meditates, standing, sword in hand. And in his mind, he sees him. The tired, blue-eyed wanderer, the man who swung a sword for 37 years in a village where nobody ever knew his name. Who is he? Why does he keep slashing? And then, silently, Aaron speaks to him. You, who could endure such suffering, while endlessly swinging your sword? You, who could keep moving forward, with a will as hard as steel. It's enough. His eyes open. He swings. Once. The floor of the arena splits. A fissure tears down the length of the hall. Judges on their feet. 400 jaws on the ground. One perpendicular cut, loaded with a will that bends the room. Final rankings. Ilya first. Aaron Pereira second. Brett third, bleeding from his own clenched fists. Judith fourth. 1 year ago, this boy was ranked 400 out of 400 and couldn't lift the sword he now swings. Master Ian gives him a private title the continent will hear soon enough. The fourth genius of the continent. A genius of diligence. But Ian is 90 years old, and he's seen 10,000 swordsmen. In Aaron's exit interview, he asks the question that cuts deeper than any duel. When you swing, you feel neither joy nor sorrow. Are you imitating someone? And Aaron, who has never told anyone about the dream, admits it. Ian engraves Aaron's name in gold as an official chrono student, and then he sends him away. 1 year. Go home. Find your own reason to hold a sword, because right now, everything you have belongs to a dead man in a dream. Come back with a sword that's yours, or don't come back at all. The farewells hit hard. Ilya, the Ice Queen who told him sentiment was weakness, hands him her family's platinum crest and invites him to visit when the Adonis flowers bloom. Judith demands a shiny gift too, obviously. Brett's carriage rolls out to Aaron, shouting after it to get stronger. And on the road home, a strange omen. An orc fortune teller reads Aaron's fate, goes pale and asks him why his soul is only 10 years old. He hands Aaron a slip of paper. You don't have to be alone to stand on your own 2 feet. The deadbeat noble is dead. Something else is walking home in his body. Half a boy who finally woke up, half a wanderer who never stopped swinging. Waiting at home, a talking witch cat named Ruru, with a terrifying theory about what those dreams actually are, and the Chiron family, sharpening a plan to publicly destroy the Pereiras at the gathering of the 6 southern families. But that is part 2. If you want part 2, you know what to do. Subscribe and drop a like so I know you're in. I rank every manhwa I recap over on Toon Ranks. Link in the description, go see where this one placed. The real title of this series is in the pinned comment. I'll see you in the vault.